So I've got a bunch of cold approach tips to make this very difficult thing a little bit easier. The first one, going with a friend. If you have a buddy that is willing to approach, it helps so much. Like, I know I used to go with my buddy Derek. We were just like one-upping each other. We were recording it, which you don't have to do, but it was just having you, when you're by yourself, you're kind of just, it's more serious. You're just wanting to, approach, and you can get too much in your head. But when you're with a buddy, you can just one up each other. You get competitive, and I know it's a bit of a crutch, but it doesn't really matter that much. Because you're still exposing yourself to the approach. You're still like teaching yourself and seeing firsthand that going up and talking to girls isn't actually that scary, and nothing really bad happens from it. You just get a rejection, which you'll end up learning that isn't that bad, especially when you get a lot of numbers from it too. So if you have a buddy, go with him. Hopefully do. Tip number 2, play the numbers game. Other than making sure you look good, if you look good enough and approach a lot of women, and you don't say something really, really stupid or something, like, you're gonna have success. So playing the numbers, understanding it's a numbers game, especially like with cold approach, you're gonna approach a lot of women who they might even like you and would have even wanted to give you their number, but they're just not available right now, whether that means they're dating somebody else or not. So understand it's a numbers game. Don't wait too long between approaches. Do like at least one every 10 minutes if you're just starting out. Tip 3, practice by first asking for the time. If you're having trouble getting started, or directions you can ask for, just practicing going up and talking to a girl. Even if it's, you're not actually leading it to anywhere, going up and start talking is the hard part. So you can practice that, and there's no rejection when you ask for the directions. Number 4, go place with a lot of people. Colleges and the mall is the best. Eventually you'll reach a point where you can approach like anyone, anywhere, and that's good, and you want to get to that point. But grocery stores, when you just eventually hit that point, you can just see a girl, she's looking at the shelves of some product that she's looking to buy. Maybe you incorporate that into your approach so it becomes a bit more natural. But yeah, the mall and the colleges, that's basically where I went for the most of them. The library was good, or like bookstores actually. I had a fair bit of experience there. I went a lot to them, but a large percentage of the time there weren't any women to approach, but it was like easy to do that situational opener of like talking about the book, maybe searching it on my phone and seeing what book she's looking at, or talking about the genre that she's viewing or whatever, and incorporating that into how I open her. The next one, having the right expectations. Just again, it's a numbers game, and understanding that you're going to get rejected a lot, and it's not necessarily that you did anything wrong or anything. Number 6, max out your appearance. Gotta look good. Gotta be a dude that girls want to be approached by. Can't dress like crap. Number 7, you got to know what to say. I mean, pickup lines and all that shit is stupid, but you want, in regards to cold approach, just having something in your mind that you can say. Generally, when I'll see a girl, and it's good to start like moving towards her. If you're just like in the mall, I don't know, sitting at the food court watching women pass by, which is like a big part of how I've done mall approaches. But when you see her, being able to start moving towards her within 3 seconds, and then what I do is like within that 3 seconds, I'll sometimes like think of something unique I can say, but otherwise I will rely on a basic, hey, I thought this was, this is kind of random, but I just wanted to say hi, or hey, I thought you're cool, just wanted to know if you wanted to chat or something. Just super simple. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. Have that to rely on. Number 8, use custom cold approach opener. So this is like what I've just talked about, using situational opener, I think is what it's technically called, but something relying on the situation that she's in, using that as an excuse to start talking, which you can then lead into actually having a conversation and asking for the number. Number 9 is combined approaches with online dating. This is hugely important because you don't really care about rejections as much when you're already getting laid. Especially if you got good at online dating, then you can just you know that you're not dependent on it really for anything. That not only are you currently getting laid, but you can meet new women easily through it, and that's very important. Number 10, keep the conversations light and casual. Just don't make it serious. Just seem really like laid back. Like this isn't. I mean, it is intimidating to be approached. And going into number 11 is keeping the conversation short. It's just like a lot of them, they might just be polite, so you want to just be genuine, keep it short, laid back, and then bailing and then leaving. Whether or not you ask your number, just make it brief, and they'll appreciate that, especially the ones that don't want it. But otherwise, it's like it's a lot to happen, I'm sure, being approached. So number 12, again, it's just like reading their body language. You can usually tell. I mean, some women, because it is again intimidating, that they might actually really like you, but this is like a new experience. They haven't been approached. This is kind of weird. They might seem a little bit closed off. Maybe their arms are crossed or whatever, but it goes back into why it should be short. But you should be able to tell reasonably well once you get experience whether a girl has any chance of any interest. But regardless, keeping it short. Number 13, making sure you're ready to approach, because you really shouldn't, this goes back to online dating a bit, but if you haven't had any experience with women, you shouldn't be doing the thing that is most difficult to meet them, because you go through your social circle or online dating or whatever, because it's very difficult. And when rejections happen, or when you get so discouraged because you can't do a single approach, the weight of not just failing at that, but having no experience with women will just end up putting you in a bit of a downward spiral very easily. Number 14, we're powering through these. Cold approach women on your own level. So if you're a 7, go for 7s and 8s. Cold approach is very good for being able to punch above your weight class, but generally speaking, especially when you get started, just if you're when you have success, is what you want, is actually having success, and you'll have a higher success rate when you're approaching women who aren't fucking dimes, who aren't just complete 10s. 15, use cold approach closers. So just like having openers, you want to have something that you can just close, that you can just rely on. Sometimes you can naturally, you're talking to them, and you just say what you're wanting to say in a way you say it because it's just natural. But otherwise, you want to have something in the back of your mind that you can use as a bit of a crutch. Would you want to hang out sometime? Or let me think. Just we should chill sometime. I don't know. It's super simple, but just having something there, so you're not fumbling for words of okay, how the hell can I get her number? And last one, number 6, is being genuine. It's hard. You're approaching women, and if you're not genuine about it, if you're making yourself super vulnerable, because you're putting yourself out there, and you're putting yourself out there when a lot of women are going to reject you, and they can pick up on it if you're just it just seems like if there's not an authentic, genuine intention to meet someone cool, you're not doing anything wrong. It's important to recognize that, because it can feel wrong. So if you approach it in a very genuine way, that hey, you're just wanting to meet someone special, you can literally meet somebody that you might spend the rest of your life with. So you should, why wouldn't you want to do that? Why would you deem that as something that is not acceptable? So just approaching it, being genuine, putting yourself out there, being polite about it. You're not doing anything wrong. And I think women can definitely be able to tell you're just like authentically approaching. I don't know how to exactly describe it, but just having the right intentions, I think they can tell, and I think it'll work in your favor. But that's about it. If you guys have any other tips to make cold approach a bit easier, let me know. Peace.